Greetings, Pathfinders, and welcome back to the Absalom Archives. We're going to be doing another one of our little short reacty type videos today, nothing long or scripted. So we're going to start off with what's coming up next for the channel. Next week on Friday, I'm going to be releasing Absalom Archives Biology, which is going to cover the ancestries of the Inner Sea region. It'll go over what we're covering in the video itself, but basically most of the main player stuff. And if you're getting tired of these sort of broad overview topic videos, well then congratulations, that's going to be our last one for the immediate future. We're going to start moving into more granular topics, covering the stuff we're going to need for our first storyline that we're going to cover, which is the Rise of the Rune Lord's adventure path. Which means after the Inner Sea ancestries from biology, we're going to be discussing the history of ancient Thassalon, which is going to be really important for that, as well as the region of Varesia. Once we get those two covered, we're going to start actually covering Rise of the Rune Lords and some of the actual lore and story. I know, it's so exciting, right? We've been kind of stuck in this pre-2007 start of the lore state for a while, so let's go ahead and get ready to actually start covering the story and moving forward. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a bigger project, a lot of fun, and I've got a couple of other little things we're going to do in the meantime. Pathfinder Society adventures we're going to start covering. Obviously, there's other regions. I'm going to make sure I have enough covered for what we're going to need moving forward after Rise of the Rune Lords, because then we've got at least Curse of the Crimson Throne before we move on to the next year. So yeah, that's what we've got coming up. It's going to be Ancestry. Probably actually going to be able to produce 2 videos in a week because I have most of the Thassalon script written. I still need to finish editing it, and I'm about partway through the Ancestry script now. The goal is to finish that by the end of this weekend so I can record and get it all done by next week. Moving on, I just want to cover really briefly what's come out. So we're just going to look back at the Paizo website and look at their recent announcements. Last week, they added the player's guide for the Wardens of the Wildwood adventure path, which is the most recent one, so we're jumping way forward in time here. I haven't had a chance to look through my copy just yet, but it does feature, like, the most blissed out of his mind looking turtle wizard I've ever seen on anything, so immediate love it. They also released a short story for Tian Sha called One Night in Changdao. The Tian Sha World Guide is coming out. I believe it is out now, technically, when I record this, and yeah, it's gonna be really cool. I haven't talked a lot about Tian Sha, partly because I was waiting for this guide to come out so I'd have a more immediate, accurate reference to use, and partly just because there's already so much in the Inner Sea, covering another continent would just be nuts, and that Inner Sea video took a lot out of me. We've got a little thing on Pathfinder and Starfinder Infinite, which is their publishing supplements thing, talking about the top performers, which is really interesting. And the most interesting post, I think, is the Meet the Authors of the Tian Sha World Guide, where it goes through the various people that were contracted to write for this guide, give you a little intro into like their history, who they are, what's going on with them. I'm not going to read you the whole post, go and read it yourself, but it's really, I love when they do this for the books because it gives you a glimpse at like who they bring in for this, because a lot of this is freelance authors that they'll bring in to work under Paizo editorial. They have in-house authors for stuff, but for things like this, especially when you're dealing with different cultures, it's important to bring in people who are more familiar with that culture if you can. Now, sometimes if you're like, say, a one-person YouTube business, where it's just like one person, you kind of have to rely on your own research and kind of what you understand, as well as listening to a community. But if you can afford it, absolutely get in the people for whom this is a primary subject. So yeah, Pathfinders, that's all we really have to talk about today. Like I said, this is really, really short. It's going to be minimal editing. There's not going to be any movement from Dina or anything like that. Just giving you an update as to what's going on, and I will see you on Friday for our Inner Sea Ancestry Absalom Archive Biology. I gotta remember the actual way I title my videos. I actually have a little like document that tells me like how I've formatted this stuff in the past so that I can be consistent with it, because my brain will forget and format it in a completely different way the next time, and I gotta avoid that. Yeah, thanks for listening. Explore, report, cooperate. I will see you on Friday. And doves are cool. You should go and find a dove and give it a kiss. Kiss doves.